Hi. Today I want to talk about how the popular advice is actually more dangerous for you as a man. Now, word of caution: if you're a man who wants to be or stay average, it's all right. Go ahead, take any random advice you get. For example, seek balance. For example, be emotional, because trust me, this idea of showing emotions is very recent, and in my strong opinion, men should not show emotions. You may not like what I have to say, but trust me, I have given it serious thought. This is not me being catch you with attention, or maybe or me saying rubbish. No, I can tell you reasons why men should not show emotions if you want to be above the average. So stick to me. Hold on. So when I say popular advice is more dangerous to men, precisely the men who want to be like above the average, or basically the top 10% kind of men, is who I say such advice is very dangerous. Okay, let's put this into context. You hear things like be more in touch with your feminine side. Yeah, you may like such advice sound easy, they sound interesting, but in practice or in reality, it's not the same. For example, you see videos of women saying how they lost interest in their boyfriend because he was emotional, or he did something that was more that gravitated more towards the feminine side. And that's where I say things like, nope, please be very careful. And then I also saw this advice from Dan Penner in his book where he says, avoid conventional wisdom. What that means is that, and this is how I read it: if it's conventional, everybody knows it. If everyone knows it, it means two things: it's either not valuable because everybody already has it, it gives you no edge, or it's a complete lie because a lot of people like to believe lies. I mean, lies of the god they worship, lies of them having to keep up with the Joneses, lies of having to just not do what they are supposed to do. Another advice I would say they give as averages: um, don't be too hard on yourself. Remember when I said such advice are for people who want to stay average or below? Yes, but if you want to push yourself, the key there is to push yourself, because I believe that you're a man, and then you know that men operate in a very, very competitive manner, which is like a hierarchy. Now, if you've studied Jordan Peterson's work, you will notice he always talks about the dominance hierarchy, and then you should feel the need to climb at least one dominance hierarchy. You may not be the number one person in that hierarchy, but climbing the hierarchy will get you further than most men. Because there's most men, because most men are not willing to pay the price. Most men are not willing to get it done. So that idea of climbing a hierarchy is super, super important. So you have to climb a hierarchy. You could have an exceptional body, be a great scientist. So it's not about looking for the easiest path to climb it, or the easiest hierarchy to climb. No, about picking one. Or rather, I heard that with today's day and age, you can literally be authentic with yourself and climb multiple dominance hierarchies. For example, I have a video coming out where I talk about how men can compete these days. So that what that means is that back in the days, competition was fierce. Sometimes it led to death, where two men will hop on horses with swords and fight for, sometimes fight for a woman, or fight for to prove a point, to climb their dominance hierarchy. Killings happen. But we live in an era where you can compete without showing violence. For example, you could be a basketballer. You could be the best basketballer. Now, this is where it gets much interesting and much more better. You can be the number 10 basketballer, but have an audience of 10 million people. Trust me, you are not mates with the number one basketballer, because you have created your own game and you are winning in your own game. Say you are the number 10 basketballer, and somebody else has a large audience, maybe larger than yours. For example, what if you were also a podcaster at the same time. Now, I've also showed you ways that somebody can literally win without actually competing with others. He's competing with himself. And that's the game that I feel is joyful, a game that is worth it. Not the game where have to you have to play by the competition. What that means is that your competitor dictates your next action. Like I said, it is not what it is. So, like I said, if you want to be above average as a man, please avoid advice from women. Avoid advice from anyone that you think, anyone that wants to stay average. Avoid advice that goes to everyone, because if you should always, as a man, if you want to get to the top percent of men, please study what those men did to get there. Stop believing all this propaganda of how you should not be hard on yourself, how they should love you for who you are. Because right now I'm about to create a content on how Alex Hormozi says you should find a life partner, and it's deep, it's interesting. I urge you to go and watch that video, but I'm probably working on that video, I think, tomorrow. So, and one thing it says is, if you're looking for a partner and you have high standards, you as yourself, you have to hold yourself to higher standards than what you need from that partner. And it made perfect sense. I mean, anybody who is giving you relationship advice outside that framework probably has a course to sell you, a coaching program to sell you, or some product, or rather some drugs. He just wants your attention. The honest truth is, to become, like I said, to become a 1% man or a 10% man, you cannot take the advice of the public. Rather, the best thing you can do is, I'm very, very serious about this. Look at public mainstream advice, and please do the opposite. I kid you not, it's obvious already that by doing the direct opposite of what men are told to do, those are the men that win. So this is a topic that's very, very close to home, because I like to see men like you win as much as possible. So thank you very much for tuning in. I really have to go to bed because this morning I was exhausted when I woke up. Still felt like going back to sleep, but let me know what you guys think. What do you think I should talk about? Because it's all about me having a conversation with you. Hopefully, I think in about month 4 or month 6 of my journey, I'm starting a community. Hopefully, you might be involved. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.